Good evening, and welcome to Dreamy Academy. Tonight, we begin a quiet journey into the very architecture of being, exploring the profound wonders hidden within the science of medicine. As we settle into these quiet hours, I'd love to know where you're listening from, your city, your country, perhaps even what the night sky looks like outside your window. If you find peace and fascination in these explorations of science, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It helps this little corner of quiet curiosity grow and allows more wanderers to find their way here. To those already subscribed, thank you sincerely for being part of this slow and thoughtful adventure and for sharing these moments of wonder with us. Right now, as you listen, forces older than mountains are shaping the atoms in your bones, molecules are dancing in a ceaseless ballet, and energy is flowing through pathways refined over billions of years. Every breath you take, every beat of your heart, every quiet thought that drifts through your mind, each is a symphony of countless intricate processes happening at scales both vast and unimaginably small. It is easy to take this intricate machinery for granted, to see only the surface of ourselves. But beneath the skin, within every cell, down to the very atoms that compose us, lies a universe of quiet, ceaseless activity, governed by laws that echo across galaxies. Medicine, at its core, is the patient art of understanding this living universe. It is the study of how these myriad parts work together, how they sometimes falter, and how we might gently guide them back toward their natural harmony. It is a field built on observation, on curiosity, and on a deep reverence for the exquisite design of life itself. Tonight we will not rush. We will simply observe, with a quiet mind, the fundamental truths that underpin our very existence. We will trace the threads of understanding, from the smallest particles to the grandest systems, allowing the beauty and precision of these scientific truths to unfold like a story told by starlight. Let the intricate dance of atoms, the silent language of molecules, and the tireless work of cells become a gentle current that carries your thoughts, not into oblivion, but into a deeper, more peaceful appreciation of the wonder that is you. What are you, truly? Beyond the thoughts that flicker, the emotions that rise and fall, the stories you carry. If we were to gently peel back the layers, past skin and muscle, past the intricate maps of nerves and blood, what would we find at the very foundation of your being? What is the irreducible truth of your physical self? It is tempting to imagine a solid, unchanging core, a tangible essence. But the deeper we look, the more astonishing the reality becomes. You are, in essence, a breathtakingly complex arrangement of fundamental particles, engaged in a perpetual silent dance. Every fibre of your being, from the glint in your eye to the strength in your bones, is built from the same basic ingredients that compose a distant star, a mountain range, or the very air you breathe. To understand medicine, to understand health and illness, we must first understand this profound truth, that we are, at our core, an elaborate conversation between atoms. Let us begin our quiet journey there, at the smallest scale, where the universe whispers its most fundamental secrets. Consider, if you will, the atom. It is a word we hear often, a concept we hold abstractly, yet its reality is far more wondrous than any simple definition. Picture a vast, quiet hall. In the very centre, almost impossibly small, yet holding nearly all the weight, sits the nucleus, a tightly packed knot of protons and neutrons. If this nucleus were the size of a single grain of sand, the atom itself would span the entire hall, perhaps even larger. For most of its volume, the atom is simply space. Vast, empty space, through which electrons drift, not in neat planetary orbits as we often imagine, but in fuzzy probabilistic clouds. They are less like tiny marbles following a predictable path, and more like a shimmering energetic mist, existing in multiple potential locations at once until observed. This means that if you could somehow shrink down to the atomic scale, you would find yourself mostly surrounded by emptiness, punctuated by fleeting whispers of energy. Your own hand, which feels so solid and real, is in fact a shimmering expanse of mostly nothingness held together by invisible forces. The nucleus accounts for more than 99.9% of the atom's mass, yet occupies only about 0.0001% of its volume. It is a beautiful paradox, immense density at the core surrounded by an expansive energetic void. Each element in the universe, from the simplest hydrogen to the heaviest uranium, is defined by the number of protons in its nucleus. Hydrogen, with its single proton, is the oldest and most abundant element, forged in the first moments of the cosmos. Carbon, with 6 protons, forms the backbone of all life as we know it. These numbers are not arbitrary. They are the fundamental identities, the quiet signatures of matter itself, determining how each atom will interact with its neighbours. This underlying architecture, this delicate balance of forces and emptiness, is the silent bedrock upon which all of chemistry, and therefore all of life, is built. But atoms, in their solitary state, are only part of the story. The true artistry of existence begins when they learn to speak to one another, to connect, to form partnerships. This quiet conversation is what we call chemical bonding. It is driven by a profound principle. Atoms seek stability, a state of lower energy, much like a rolling stone seeks to settle at the bottom of a hill. They achieve this stability primarily by arranging their outer electrons. Sometimes, an atom will generously share its electrons with another, forming a covalent bond, a strong intimate embrace where electrons are held in common between 2 nuclei. Imagine 2 dancers holding hands, moving together as one. This is the bond that holds the water molecule together. 2 hydrogen atoms linked to a single oxygen, creating the very solvent of life. Other times, an atom will gently transfer an electron to a neighbour, creating ions, atoms with an electrical charge. One becomes slightly positive, the other slightly negative, and like tiny magnets, they are drawn to each other in an ionic bond, forming crystalline structures like the salt on your table. These bonds are not static. They are dynamic, constantly forming, breaking, and reforming in the warm, wet environment of a living cell. Each bond holds a small amount of energy, like a coiled spring, and when bonds break, that energy can be released or transferred, powering the intricate machinery of life. When atoms come together through these bonds, they form molecules, complex structures, each with its own unique shape and function. A water molecule, simple and elegant, is the foundation of our internal oceans. Glucose, a sugar, is a solar battery, capturing the sun's energy in its carbon-hydrogen bonds. Amino acids, with their varied side chains, are the letters of life's alphabet, ready to be strung together into the majestic prose of proteins. Each molecule, a tiny sculpture crafted by electromagnetic forces, possesses a specific three-dimensional architecture that dictates its role. Its shape is its language, allowing it to fit into other molecules like a key in a lock, or to act as a scaffold, a messenger, or a catalyst. It is through this ceaseless, silent ballet of forming and breaking bonds, of atoms arranging themselves into ever more intricate molecular patterns, that the inert dust of the universe begins its slow ascent towards the vibrant complexity of life. These are the fundamental conversations that occur billions of times a second within every cell of your body, creating the very fabric of your being. What does this quiet understanding of atoms and their bonds mean for us, for our health, for medicine? It means that at the deepest level, your body is a marvel of molecular engineering, a dynamic equilibrium of chemical reactions. Health, in this view, is the harmonious functioning of these molecular machines, the seamless flow of chemical information, the precise formation and breaking of countless bonds. Illness, conversely, can often be traced back to a disruption in this delicate balance. A missing molecule, a broken bond, an incorrect shape that prevents a crucial interaction. Medicine, then, becomes the art of understanding these molecular conversations, and sometimes gently intervening. It might involve providing the body with a missing nutrient, a specific molecule to help a reaction proceed, or a compound designed to block an unwanted interaction. When a physician prescribes a medication, they are, in essence, offering a carefully crafted molecule designed to whisper a specific instruction to the cells, to rebalance a chemical pathway, or to restore a lost harmony. There's a particular comfort in realizing that even the most complex medical conditions ultimately unravel into understandable patterns of atoms and molecules. It reminds us that our bodies, though unique, are governed by the same universal laws that shape the stars. We are not separate from the universe, but an intricate, self-organizing expression of its fundamental chemistry. This perspective fosters a profound reverence for the elegance of life's design and a quiet humility in the face of its intricate mechanisms. It is a reminder that the boundary between living and non-living blurs when you look closely enough, for we are all, in the end, just patterns of matter, animated by energy and held together by the quiet conversation of atoms. So we've journeyed into the astonishing emptiness and dense cores of atoms, and watched as they gracefully form the molecular structures that are the very language of existence. We've seen how these fundamental building blocks, through their ceaseless dance of bonding and unbonding, lay the groundwork for everything that lives and breathes. But how do these individual molecular sculptures begin to organize themselves into something as complex as a living organism? How do these silent chemical conversations give rise to function, to structure, to the very spark of life? That question leads us to the next profound level of organization, where molecules gather into tiny self-contained universes, each with its own purpose, each a fundamental unit of life itself. Next, we will step into the astonishing world of the cell, the fundamental unit from which all life emerges. We've journeyed, gently and thoughtfully, through the invisible architecture of being, observing how atoms, those vast quiet halls of energy, dance together to form molecules. We've seen how these molecules, with their unique shapes and ceaseless conversations, become the fundamental letters in life's alphabet. But now we arrive at a more profound question. one that bridges the chasm between the inanimate and the animate. How do these individual molecular structures organize themselves, not just into complex chemicals, but into something that lives, that breathes, that is? How do they give rise to the astonishing reality we call life itself? We will not rush this understanding. We will approach it with the same quiet wonder, allowing the truth to unfold at its own deliberate pace. And the answer, the irreducible truth, lies within a structure so small it defies our everyday perception, yet so complex it contains universes of activity. The cell. Imagine, if you will, not just a building block, but an entire self-contained city. A city bustling with activity, powered by its own energy, governed by its own laws, and endlessly repairing and reproducing itself. This, in essence, is a single cell. It is the fundamental unit of life, the smallest entity capable of independent existence. And within your own body, within each of us, trillions upon trillions of these microscopic marvels are working in perfect silent synchronicity. Let us then step inside this city, this miniature cosmos, and observe its profound wonders. First, we encounter the city limits, its protective boundary, the plasma membrane. Think of this not merely as a wall, but as a living, breathing skin, a discerning gatekeeper. It is a delicate, shimmering veil, composed primarily of lipids and proteins, constantly in motion, like a gentle current on a vast, quiet ocean. This membrane defines the cell, separating its inner world from the chaotic external environment. But it does more than just contain. It communicates. It is a selective barrier, deciding precisely what enters and what exits, ensuring the cell maintains its precious internal balance. It recognizes other cells, forming connections, engaging in silent, intricate conversations that determine how tissues and organs will form and function. This membrane is the cell's identity, its first declaration of self in the grand, interwoven tapestry of life. Stepping past this wondrous boundary, we find ourselves in the cell's internal environment, a viscous, jelly-like substance called the cytoplasm. This is the cell's ocean, its vast interior where all the organelles, the cell's miniature organs, are suspended. It's not an empty space, but a dynamic medium, filled with water, salts, proteins, and countless other molecules, all participating in a ceaseless ballet of chemical reactions, moving and interacting with graceful precision. Our journey continues, drawing us toward the heart of this cellular city, its command center, the nucleus. This is often the largest and most prominent organelle, a spherical library encased within its own double membrane. Within its quiet depths resides the cell's most precious treasure, its entire story, its complete instruction manual, DNA. Here, coiled and protected, lie the blueprints for every protein the cell will ever need to build, every function it will ever perform, every characteristic it will ever express. The nucleus is the brain, the master architect, directing the symphony of cellular life, ensuring that every note is played precisely as intended. It dictates not only the cell's daily activities, but also its destiny, its capacity for growth, division, and ultimately its gentle decline. But a blueprint, however perfect, is useless without builders. And here, scattered throughout the cytoplasm and sometimes attached to other structures, we find the cell's tireless construction workers, the ribosomes. These tiny, complex molecular machines are the protein factories of the cell. They read the instructions copied from the DNA in the nucleus and translate them, one amino acid at a time, into long chains that fold into intricate three-dimensional proteins. These proteins are the true workhorses of the cell. They are enzymes that catalyze reactions, structural components that give the cell its shape, transporters that move substances, and messengers that carry signals. Without ribosomes, the cell would be a city without workers, a library without readers, a story without a voice. Many of these newly synthesized proteins begin their journey within a vast interconnected network of membranes called the endoplasmic reticulum, or Imagine it as the cell's sophisticated manufacturing and transport system, a labyrinth of sacs and tubules. We distinguish two types. The rough ER, studded with ribosomes, is where many proteins destined for secretion or insertion into membranes are synthesized and folded, undergoing their initial modifications. It is a bustling workshop. The smooth ER, by contrast, lacks ribosomes and is involved in a different set of crucial tasks, such as the synthesis of lipids, fats, detoxification of harmful substances, and storage of calcium ions. It is a quiet yet incredibly vital chemical processing plant. From the ER, proteins and lipids often travel to the cell's central post office, the Golgi apparatus. This elegant organelle consists of flattened membrane-bound sacs, stacked like a pile of delicate pancakes. Here, molecules are further modified, sorted and packaged into vesicles, small, membrane-bound bubbles, ready for transport to their final destinations, whether within the cell itself or for secretion outside. The Golgi ensures that every package is correctly addressed and delivered, maintaining order and efficiency in the cellular city. Every vibrant city also needs its recycling and waste disposal systems, and in the cell these are the lysosomes. These small spherical organelles contain powerful digestive enzymes capable of breaking down worn-out cellular components, waste materials, and even foreign invaders like bacteria. Lysosomes are the cell's cleanup crew, ensuring that debris is cleared and valuable molecular components are recycled, maintaining the cell's health and vitality. And what holds this bustling city together? What gives it shape and allows its internal elements to move? That would be the cytoskeleton, an intricate network of protein filaments that crisscross the cytoplasm. It is the cell's internal scaffolding, providing structural support, determining its shape, and enabling various forms of cellular movement, from the migration of entire cells to the precise transport of organelles within. It is the silent, dynamic architecture that underpins the entire cellular enterprise. We have merely touched upon the major landmarks within this astonishing world. There are countless other players, each with their own vital role, each molecule a tiny, perfect cog in an unimaginably intricate machine. But what we must truly grasp, what we must hold with profound reverence, is not just the individual function of each part, but their seamless, breathtaking collaboration. Every organelle, every protein, every molecule is engaged in a continuous dynamic dialogue, a symphony of countless intricate processes working together to sustain life. This single cell, this microscopic universe, is a testament to resilience, adaptability, and breathtaking complexity. And you, dear wanderer, are not merely a collection of molecules, but a living, breathing tapestry woven from trillions of these cellular wonders. Your health, your very existence, is a reflection of the harmonious dance within and between these cellular cities. As we gently close this chapter on the individual cell, we prepare to expand our view once more. For just as atoms combine to form molecules, and molecules coalesce into cells, so too do cells organize themselves. Next, we will step back and observe how these astonishing cellular cities come together, collaborating and specializing, to form the larger structures we know as tissues and organs, building the magnificent architecture of the human body. We will continue to move slowly, thoughtfully, allowing the wonder to settle deep within us. We have journeyed gently and with quiet attention through the profound wonders of the cell, that microscopic city, that self-contained universe of ceaseless collaborative motion. We have seen how its organelles dance in intricate harmony, each a specialist, yet all working toward the singular purpose of life. But now, as the gentle current of our lecture carries us onward, we must ask, what happens when these individual cells, these brilliant tiny architects of being, begin to gather? What new forms of wonder emerge when they decide to work together, not just within their own walls, but with their countless kin? We pause, allowing this question to settle within the quiet space of your mind. You are not merely a collection of isolated cellular wonders. You are a symphony, a grand tapestry woven from the threads of countless specialized lives. Next, we step into the realm of tissues. Imagine, if you will, a vast and ancient forest. Each tree is a cell, unique in its own way, drawing life from the earth and light from the sun. But within this forest you find groves of trees that stand together, sharing the same soil, reaching for the same patterns of light, their roots intertwined, their branches creating a unified canopy. These groves, these communities of shared purpose, are our tissues. A tissue, then, is a group of similar cells, along with the extracellular matrix they produce, that work together to perform a specific function. It is the first grand step in cellular collaboration, a testament to the elegant efficiency of life's design. We do not find a chaotic jumble of cells. Rather, we observe a deliberate, organized arrangement, each type of tissue serving a vital, distinct role in the larger architecture of your being. There are 4 primary types of tissues that form the very fabric of your existence, each a master of its craft, each contributing its unique melody to the body's grand composition. We will not rush through them, but rather we will observe them with the same gentle curiosity we brought to the atom and the cell. First, we encounter STI, or epithelial tissue. Think of it as the body's vigilant guardian, its protective veil, its selective gateway. Epithelial cells form continuous sheets that cover body surfaces, line internal organs and cavities, and form glands. They are the skin that shields you from the world, the delicate lining of your digestive tract that selectively absorbs nutrients, the inner surface of your lungs that facilitates the gentle exchange of gases. These cells are often tightly packed, like bricks in a finely constructed wall, forming a barrier that can be both protective and permeable. Some epithelial cells are flat and thin, perfect for diffusion, allowing substances to pass through with quiet ease. Others are tall and columnar, specialized for secretion or absorption, diligently producing vital fluids or drawing in the sustenance you need. Still others possess tiny hair-like projections called cilia, which beat in rhythmic unison, like a microscopic field of wheat swaying in the breeze to move substances along surfaces. Think of the gentle sweeping of mucus from your airways. Epithelial tissue defines boundaries, It is the skin's embrace, the stomach's lining, the kidney's filtering membrane. It is where your inner world meets the outer, where substances are welcomed or repelled, where messages are whispered across delicate surfaces. Without this vigilant protector, this meticulous gatekeeper, the harmony of your internal environment would quickly unravel. Next, we turn our gaze to connective tissue. If epithelial tissue is the body's protective skin and lining, then connective tissue is its vast and varied internal landscape, the scaffolding, the mortar, the binding agent, the supportive framework that holds everything together. It is the most abundant and widely distributed of all tissues, a true marvel of versatility. Unlike epithelial cells, which are tightly packed, connective tissue cells are often scattered within an abundant extracellular matrix. This matrix, a wondrous blend of protein fibers like collagen and elastin, providing strength and flexibility, and ground substance, a gel-like material, is what gives connective tissue its incredible diversity. Consider the strength of bone, a rigid, mineralized connective tissue that forms your skeletal framework, protecting your vital organs and allowing for movement. It is a living, dynamic structure, constantly remodeling itself, a testament to enduring strength. Then there is cartilage, a more flexible but still supportive form found in your joints, nose and ears, providing cushioning and smooth surfaces for movement. Think of tendons and ligaments, dense, rope-like connective tissues that connect muscles to bones and bones to bones respectively. They are the strong, silent partners in every movement you make, ensuring stability and coordination. And what of blood? Yes, blood is also a connective tissue. Its cells suspended in a fluid matrix called plasma. It is the river of life, carrying oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and immune cells throughout your body, silently connecting every organ, every cell, in a ceaseless flow of vital exchange. Even adipose tissue, your body's fat, is a form of connective tissue. It serves as an energy reserve, insulates against cold, and cushions your organs, a soft protective layer. Connective tissue, in its myriad forms, is the silent, omnipresent architect of your internal structure, providing support, connection, and a rich environment for all other tissues to thrive. Now, let us observe the dynamic movers, the engines of your physical being. Muscle tissue. This tissue is specialized for contraction, for generating force and movement. It is the power behind every breath, every heartbeat, every step, every subtle shift in expression. There are 3 distinct types of muscle tissue, each with its own rhythm and purpose. First, skeletal muscle. These are the muscles you consciously control, allowing you to walk, lift, speak, and express. Their cells are long and cylindrical, often described as muscle fibers, and they appear striped or striated under a microscope like finely woven fabric. They are anchored to your bones, and their contractions are powerful and deliberate, responding to your will. When you choose to reach out and touch something, it is your skeletal muscles, acting in concert, that obey. Next, we have cardiac muscle. This is the specialized muscle of your heart, a tireless rhythmic pump that works without your conscious command. Like skeletal muscle, it is striated, but its cells are branched and interconnected, forming a complex self-regulating network. It beats continuously, day and night, from your first moments of life until your last. A steady, unwavering drumbeat, essential for circulating the river of blood throughout your body. Its rhythm is an internal clock, a constant reminder of life's enduring pulse. Finally, there is smooth muscle. You find this tissue in the walls of your internal organs, such as your digestive tract, blood vessels, and airways. Its contractions are involuntary, gentle, and sustained, working behind the scenes to perform vital functions without your awareness. It propels food through your intestines, regulates blood pressure by constricting or dilating vessels, and adjusts the flow of air into your lungs. Smooth muscle is the quiet, consistent force that maintains the unseen processes of your internal world. Muscle tissue, in all its forms, is the embodiment of action, the generator of force, the weaver of movement. It is the vibrant, dynamic component that allows you to interact with your environment and sustains the very processes of life within you. And finally, we arrive at the intricate, astonishing network of nervous tissue. This is the body's ultimate communication system, its vast electrical grid, its center of thought, sensation, and control. It allows you to perceive the world, to think, to remember, to feel, and to coordinate every other system within you. Nervous tissue is primarily composed of two main types of cells. The first are neurons, the star players of this system. Neurons are highly specialized cells capable of generating and transmitting electrical signals or nerve impulses with astonishing speed. They possess unique structures: a cell body containing the nucleus, dendrites, branching extensions that receive signals, and an axon, a long extension that transmits signals to other cells. Imagine a neuron as a tiny, intricate tree, its roots reaching out to gather information, its trunk processing it, and its branches sending messages onward across vast, silent distances within your body. The second type of cell in nervous tissue are glial cells, or neuroglia. These are the unsung heroes, the supportive cast that outnumber neurons by a significant margin. Glial cells do not transmit nerve impulses, but they provide crucial support, nourishment, protection, and insulation for neurons. They are the caretakers, the quiet maintainers of the neural environment, ensuring that the delicate work of communication can proceed unimpeded. Nervous tissue forms your brain, your spinal cord, and the vast network of nerves that permeate every part of your body. It is the weaver of thought, the collector of sensations, the orchestrator of movement, the silent conductor of the body's grand symphony. It is where your inner world takes shape, where consciousness resides, where the universe reflects upon itself. Now, as we contemplate these four primary tissue types, the protective epithelial, the supportive connective, the dynamic muscle, and the communicative nervous, we begin to see the next layer of complexity unfold. For these tissues do not exist in isolation. They are designed to come together, to interweave and collaborate, to form even more complex and specialized structures, organs. An organ is a distinct structural and functional unit, typically composed of at least two, and often all four of these tissue types, working together for a specific vital purpose. Consider your heart cassette, a marvel of engineering. It is primarily made of cardiac muscle tissue, providing the force for pumping blood, but it is lined with epithelial tissue, encased in connective tissue for support and protection, and intricately supplied with nervous tissue to regulate its rhythmic beat. The heart is not just muscle, It is a collaborative masterpiece of all four tissues. Think of your stomach. Its inner lining is a specialized epithelial tissue, secreting digestive juices and protecting itself from corrosive acids. Layers of smooth muscle tissue churn and mix food. Connective tissue binds these layers together, and a dense network of nervous tissue orchestrates its complex digestive processes. Each organ, then, is a specialized workshop, a dedicated center of activity within your body's grand factory. Your lungs, kidneys, liver, brain, eyes, each is a testament to the power of diverse tissues uniting under a common goal. They are distinct entities, yet profoundly interconnected. And just as cells form tissues and tissues form organs, these organs, in turn, group together to form organ systems. Your digestive system, with its stomach, intestines, liver and pancreas, works in concert to break down food and absorb nutrients. Your circulatory system, with its heart, blood vessels and blood, transports vital substances throughout your body. Your nervous system, with its brain, spinal cord and nerves, coordinates and controls everything. We are observing a profound hierarchy of organization, a beautiful ascent from the simple to the complex, from the atom to the molecule, to the cell, to the tissue, to the organ, and finally to the complete, astonishing architecture of the human body. Each level builds upon the last, adding layers of meaning and function, yet always retaining the fundamental principles we've discussed. You are this intricate dance, this living tapestry, this grand, self-regulating mechanism. The health you experience, the vitality you possess, is a reflection of the harmonious collaboration at every single one of these levels. When there is dis-ease, it is often a disruption in this delicate symphony, a misstep in the dance of cells, tissues, or organs. We approach this understanding with profound reverence, do we not? To grasp the intelligent design, the inherent wisdom woven into the very fabric of our being, is to find a deeper appreciation for the miracle of life itself. It is to recognize that even the most complex conditions can be understood, and perhaps gently guided back toward harmony by tracing their roots to these fundamental patterns. We have begun to map the internal landscape of your magnificent form, from its microscopic foundations to its architectural grandeur. We have seen how specialized communities of cells build the very structures of your existence. Next, we will step back gently to observe how these organ systems, in their ceaseless, interconnected activity, maintain the delicate balance that defines life itself. We will explore the quiet wisdom of homeostasis, the body's enduring quest for equilibrium. But for now, let us simply sit with the wonder of tissues and organs, the profound beauty of collaboration, the silent strength of unity. We have journeyed together, slowly and gently, through the profound architecture of being. We have observed the quiet dance of atoms forming molecules, the astonishing self-contained cities we call cells, and their collaborative efforts in forming tissues and organs, those intricate systems that weave together the tapestry of who you are. We have seen the incredible hierarchy, from the smallest whisper of existence to the grand symphony of organ systems, each level contributing to the harmonious whole. Now, as the quiet hours deepen around us, and perhaps the moon casts its gentle glow through your window, we arrive at a concept that binds all these wonders together, a principle so fundamental to life that it might be considered the very breath of being. homeostasis. Imagine, if you will, a master conductor leading an orchestra, not just any orchestra, but one composed of countless intricate processes within your very self. This conductor's unwavering purpose is to maintain a perfect, delicate balance amidst a world of constant change. Homeostasis is this exquisite balancing act, the body's ceaseless quest for equilibrium. It is not a static state, a fixed point of stillness, but rather a dynamic, living dance, a gentle swaying back and forth around an ideal set point, like a boat skillfully navigating a shifting current, always adjusting, always adapting. Why is this constant adjustment so profoundly crucial? Because every cell, every tissue, every organ system, every molecule we have so carefully observed functions optimally within very specific narrow ranges. Too hot, too cold, too acidic, too alkaline, too much sugar, too little oxygen. Any significant deviation threatens the delicate machinery of life. Homeostasis is the quiet guardian, the internal wisdom that ensures these vital parameters remain within their life-sustaining boundaries, protecting you from the relentless push and pull of both the external world and the internal demands of your own metabolism. It is the body's promise to itself: I will adapt, I will survive, I will thrive by maintaining my inner peace. Consider the vital variables that your body so diligently regulates, often without a conscious thought from you. Think of your body temperature. A precise 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take a gentle fraction. Whether you're walking through a crisp winter morning or basking in the summer sun, your core temperature remains remarkably stable. Or your blood glucose levels, the steady supply of energy flowing to your cells, carefully managed to avoid both the sluggishness of too little and the damage of too much. Your blood pressure, the gentle rhythm of life pulsing through your vessels, is meticulously adjusted to deliver oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your being without overwhelming delicate structures. And then there is the intricate balance of pH, the delicate acidity or alkalinity of your blood, a subtle measure that profoundly impacts the shape and function of every protein, every enzyme. We could speak of water balance, of oxygen and carbon dioxide levels, each a critical thread in the vast living tapestry. Each is a world unto itself, a testament to the body's innate intelligence. How does the body achieve this astonishing feat, this constant gentle recalibration? The answer lies in a mechanism of profound elegance and simplicity, yet one that orchestrates immense complexity: the feedback loop. Picture it as a continuous conversation, a silent dialogue between different parts of your being, always striving to return to that cherished state of balance. Every feedback loop has a few essential components, like the characters in a timeless play. First, there is the stimulus, the change, the gentle nudge away from the ideal set point. Perhaps the room grows colder, or you've just enjoyed a sweet, nourishing meal. Next, the receptor or sensor, a vigilant watchman, detects this change. These are specialized cells or nerve endings scattered throughout your body, constantly monitoring the internal environment. They are the first to notice the shift, the subtle ripple in the calm waters. The receptor then sends a quiet message to the control center. Often, this is a region of your brain, or perhaps an endocrine gland, a wise and ancient part of you that knows precisely what needs to be done. The control center processes the information, compares it to the ideal set point, and decides on the appropriate course of action. It is the strategist, the decision maker, Finally, the control center dispatches its instructions to the effector, the part of the body that will carry out the response. This could be a muscle, a gland, or another organ, tasked with restoring the balance, gently guiding the system back to its peaceful center. There are two primary types of these feedback loops, each serving a distinct purpose in the body's grand design. The most common, and arguably the most vital for maintaining stability, is negative feedback. This system works like a gentle hand, always seeking to reverse the original stimulus. If something goes up, negative feedback brings it down. If something goes down, it brings it up. It is the body's quiet insistence on moderation, on returning to the middle path. Let us observe some beautiful examples. Consider the regulation of your body temperature. As you step into a cooler environment, your body temperature begins to drop the stimulus. Specialized receptors in your skin and internal organs sense this change and send signals to your brain's control center, specifically the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus, in its wisdom, recognizes the deviation and sends instructions to effectors. Your muscles might begin to shiver, generating heat. Blood vessels near your skin might constrict, minimizing heat loss. You might even feel a subtle urge to move or seek warmth. All these actions work to increase your body temperature, reversing the initial drop and bringing you back to that comfortable 98.6 degrees. Conversely, if you become too warm, perhaps during strenuous exercise, your body responds by dilating blood vessels to release heat and initiating sweating, which cools you through evaporation. The goal is always to counteract the change, to return to the set point. Another exquisite example is the regulation of blood glucose levels. After a meal, especially one rich in carbohydrates, glucose levels in your blood begin to rise, the stimulus. Receptors in your pancreas detect this increase. The pancreas, acting as both receptor and control center, releases the hormone insulin, an effector. Insulin then acts on cells throughout your body, encouraging them to take up glucose from the blood and store it, thus decreasing blood glucose levels back to their normal range. If, however, you haven't eaten for a while and your blood glucose begins to drop, the pancreas releases glucagon, another hormone, which signals the liver to release stored glucose into the bloodstream, increasing the levels. It is a ceaseless, gentle ebb and flow, ensuring a steady energy supply. Then we have positive feedback, a less common but equally powerful mechanism. Unlike negative feedback, which seeks to reverse a change, positive feedback amplifies the original stimulus. It pushes the system further in the same direction, often leading to a rapid completion of a specific event. It is the body's way of saying, now is the time for decisive action. Consider the profound process of childbirth. As labor begins, the baby's head presses against the cervix, the stimulus. This pressure is detected by stretch receptors in the cervix, which send signals to the brain, the control center. The brain then releases oxytocin, an effector, a hormone that causes the uterus to contract more forcefully. These stronger contractions, in turn, push the baby's head harder against the cervix, further increasing the stimulus, leading to even more oxytocin release and even stronger contractions. This amplifying loop continues, building in intensity until the baby is born. The process is self-limiting, as the birth of the baby removes the initial stimulus and the loop is broken. Another example can be seen in blood clotting. When a blood vessel is damaged, platelets adhere to the injury site, the stimulus. These platelets release chemicals that attract more platelets, causing them to aggregate and release even more chemicals. This cascade rapidly forms a plug, amplifying the clotting process until the vessel is sealed. Again, it is a focused, powerful response designed to achieve a swift and complete outcome. As we quietly contemplate these intricate systems, we cannot help but feel a profound sense of reverence for the wisdom embedded within your very being. Homeostasis is the ultimate testament to the body's innate capacity for self-regulation, its ceaseless effort to maintain balance and harmony. It is a story of resilience, of constant adaptation, of life's persistent will to endure. When this delicate dance falters, when the feedback loops become disrupted, that is when we begin to observe the subtle shifts that can lead to illness and disease. A failure in temperature regulation can lead to fever or hypothermia. An imbalance in blood glucose can manifest as diabetes. Medicine, in its deepest sense, seeks to understand these disruptions, to gently guide the body back towards its natural state of equilibrium, to whisper encouragement to the systems that have momentarily lost their way. So take a quiet moment, breathe softly, and feel the gentle currents within you. Feel the ceaseless, silent work of homeostasis, maintaining your internal peace, allowing you to simply be. It is a profound wonder, this dynamic equilibrium, a testament to the intricate, interconnected beauty of life. Next, we will step even further into this inner world to explore the very essence of how this complex dance is orchestrated and controlled, as we turn our thoughtful attention to the remarkable systems of communication that allow every part of you to speak to every other part. We will begin to unveil the quiet languages of the body. We've journeyed through the quiet halls of existence, from the silent dance of atoms to the bustling cities of cells, from the intricate tapestries of tissues and organs to the ceaseless quest for balance that is homeostasis. We've watched as the body, with an almost unbelievable grace, maintains its inner equilibrium, a symphony playing itself without a conductor we can see. But a profound question lingers in the gentle quiet of our academy. How is this magnificent orchestra, this intricate ballet of life, truly orchestrated? How do these myriad parts, these countless cellular conversations, communicate their needs, their triumphs, and their challenges across the vast internal landscape of our being? Today we turn our thoughtful gaze to the very essence of communication within you, to the networks that carry the messages of life. We will explore two exquisite systems, distinct in their methods, yet profoundly unified in their purpose. The swift electric whispers of the nervous system and the slower chemical murmurs of the endocrine system. They are the body's internal internet and its postal service, working in seamless, often overlapping, harmony to weave the fabric of your conscious experience and your unconscious regulation. Let's begin with the nervous system, that astonishing web of life's most rapid communication. Imagine, if you will, a vast, luminous network stretching from the deepest recesses of your thought to the very tips of your fingers and toes, carrying information at speeds that defy simple comprehension. This is the architecture of your nervous system, an intricate electrical grid that allows you to perceive the world, to move, to think, to feel, and to react in an instant. At the heart of this system lies a cell of singular beauty and purpose, the neuron. These are the fundamental units, the individual storytellers in this grand narrative of communication. Each neuron is a miniature marvel, a delicate tree with branches reaching out. We see the dendrites, like the receptive antennae of a cosmic listener, gathering signals from neighboring cells. These signals converge upon the cell body, the neuron's central processing unit, where the decision to fire or remain silent is made. Should the signal reach a certain threshold, an electrical pulse, a tiny spark of life, is generated. This pulse, known as a action potential, then races down the miaxons, a long, slender projection that can stretch for considerable distances, insulated by a shimmering sheath of myelin that allows the signal to leap and accelerate. And at the end of this journey, at the very tip of the axon, we find the sensory synapse. This is not a direct connection, but a tiny, almost mystical gap, a space of profound significance where one neuron communicates with the next. Here, the electrical signal, upon reaching the axon terminal, triggers the release of exquisite chemical messengers called neurotransmitters. These molecules, each with its own specific message, a command to excite, to inhibit, to remember, to dream, float across the synaptic cleft like tiny purposeful boats on a silent river. They then bind to specific receptors on the dendrites or cell body of the receiving neuron, much like a key fitting into a lock, either igniting a new electrical pulse or calming the cell into quietude. This dance of electricity and chemistry repeats, neuron after neuron, weaving thoughts, sensations, and actions into the tapestry of your reality. We gently divide this vast network into two primary realms. There is the central nervous system, CNS, which comprises the brain and the spinal cord. This is the command center, the grand library of your memories, the engine of your thoughts, the silent architect of your movements, and the seat of your consciousness. The brain, that most wondrous and complex organ, processes the torrent of information, interprets it, and formulates responses, while the spinal cord acts as the vital superhighway, carrying messages to and from the brain and coordinating many reflexive actions independently. Then, extending outward from the CNS, we find the peripheral nervous system, PNS. These are the countless nerves that branch throughout your entire body, reaching every muscle, every organ, every sensory receptor in your skin. They are the diligent messengers, carrying sensory information to the CNS, the touch of a feather, the warmth of the sun, the scent of a flower, and carrying motor commands from the CNS, the impulse to lift your hand, to speak a word, to take a step. This intricate branching ensures that no corner of your being is left unheard, no command unheeded. The nervous system is defined by its astonishing speed and precision. It allows for immediate responses, for the rapid adaptation to a changing environment. It is the system that lets you snatch your hand away from a hot stove before you even consciously register the pain. It is the architect of your thoughts, the canvas of your emotions, the very foundation of what you perceive as, quote, one. But not all communication needs to be instantaneous. Some messages require a slower, more pervasive and longer-lasting influence, a gentle current that subtly shapes the landscape of your internal world over hours, days, or even years. For this, we turn our attention to the magnificent endocrine system. where the nervous system speaks in electrical flashes and chemical bursts across tiny gaps, the endocrine system communicates through the slow, steady flow of hormones. These are the body's chemical messengers, molecules of profound power and purpose, released into the bloodstream by specialized glands. Imagine them as letters sent through an internal postal service, traveling throughout the entire body, patiently searching for their intended recipients. These hormones are secreted by various endocrine glands, each a small but mighty factory of chemical signals. Consider the suspituitary gland, nestled at the base of your brain, often called the quote, for its role in orchestrating many other endocrine functions. It releases hormones that influence growth, metabolism, reproduction, and stress responses. We have the thyroid gland in your neck, shaping your metabolism, your energy levels, your very internal rhythm. The adrenal glands, perched atop your kidneys, are the architects of your stress response, releasing adrenaline for immediate action and cortisol for sustained adaptation. The pancreas, that quiet organ nestled behind your stomach, regulates your blood sugar with the exquisite balance of insulin and glucagon. And, of course, the gonads, ovaries, and testes orchestrate the profound changes of development and reproduction. Unlike neurotransmitters, which act locally across a synapse, hormones travel far and wide via the bloodstream, permeating every tissue and organ. Yet, their messages are not indiscriminately received. Each hormone is like a specific key, designed to fit only into particular locks, the receptors found on the surface or within the cytoplasm of specific target cells or organs. Only those cells possessing the correct receptor will, quote, 3, and respond to the hormone's message. This ensures that a hormone released into the general circulation can still exert highly specific effects, influencing growth in one tissue, metabolism in another, or mood in yet another. The endocrine system's messages are slower to arrive and slower to dissipate than those of the nervous system. Their effects are often widespread and long-lasting, regulating fundamental processes such as growth and development from childhood through adulthood, orchestrating the complex dance of metabolism, maintaining electrolyte balance, influencing mood, and guiding the profound journey of reproduction. It is the system that quietly, persistently shapes who you are over the long arc of your life. Now it is tempting to view these two systems as entirely separate entities, each performing its own distinct function. But this would be to miss the most profound beauty of their design, their exquisite interplay and collaboration. They are not soloists, but integral parts of the same grand orchestra, often influencing and modulating each other's activity. Consider, for a moment, a stressful situation. Imagine encountering a sudden, unexpected challenge. Your nervous system immediately springs into action. Electrical signals race to your adrenal glands, prompting the rapid release of adrenaline. This is the swift, immediate response. Your heart races, your breathing quickens, your senses sharpen, preparing you for quote 4. This is the nervous system's lightning-fast communication. But almost simultaneously, and with a slightly slower, more sustained effect, the endocrine system also responds. Hormones like cortisol are released, ensuring that your body has the sustained energy reserves to cope with the prolonged stressor, helping to regulate inflammation and adapt your metabolism. The initial alarm is sounded by the electrical network, but the long-term adaptation is orchestrated by the chemical messengers. This is the neuroendocrine axis in action, a testament to the body's integrated intelligence. In essence, the nervous system provides the rapid, precise, and often conscious control, handling the immediate demands of interaction with the external world and the internal processing of thought and sensation. The endocrine system provides the broader, slower, and often unconscious regulation, maintaining the long-term internal environment, shaping growth, and managing metabolic rhythms. Together, they create a comprehensive communication network that ensures every cell, every tissue, every organ is aware of its role and its needs, working in concert to maintain the delicate balance of life. When these systems function in harmony, when the electrical signals flow unimpeded and the chemical messengers find their locks, you experience health. Your body responds appropriately to its environment, adapts to challenges, and maintains its internal equilibrium with quiet grace. But when there is a disruption, a faulty neurotransmitter, a hormonal imbalance, a communication breakdown, the symphony falters and illness can emerge. Understanding these systems is not merely an academic exercise. It is an entry point into appreciating the profound intelligence and resilience that resides within you. We pause here, allowing the quiet wonder of these communication networks to settle within us. We've observed the intricate dance of electrical impulses and chemical whispers, the unseen forces that connect every part of your being. Next, we will step into another realm of the body's wisdom, one that stands guard against invaders and repairs the damage of daily life. The intricate and astonishing world of the immune system. We will not rush, but simply observe, with gentle curiosity, the next layer of this profound architecture of being. We've journeyed through the intricate silent languages of the body, observing how rapid electrical whispers and gentle chemical tides orchestrate the symphony of our being. We've seen the swift, decisive actions of the nervous system and the slower, pervasive influences of the endocrine system, each playing its part in the grand, ceaseless ballet of life. Now, as the quiet hours deepen, we turn our gaze to yet another profound wonder, a system perhaps less overtly communicative, yet ceaselessly vigilant, the immune system. Imagine, if you will, that within the delicate architecture of your being, there exists a silent, sprawling, and incredibly intelligent defense network. It is a guardian, a sentinel, constantly patrolling the vast internal landscapes of your body, ever watchful for intruders, for anything that might disrupt the exquisite balance we call homeostasis. This is not a system of mere brute force, but one of astonishing discernment, memory, and adaptability. It is a testament to the profound wisdom embedded within the very fabric of life. We will not rush through this intricate tapestry. Instead, we will observe with the same gentle curiosity we've brought to our previous explorations. We begin by understanding that the immune system is not a single organ, but a dispersed, collaborative effort involving cells, tissues, and organs scattered throughout the body, all working in concert. It is a true network, a community of specialized defenders, each with its unique role, yet all united by a singular purpose: to protect you, to preserve the integrity of your inner world. Think of it as a multi-layered fortress, with defenses ranging from impenetrable walls to highly specialized intelligent warriors. The first, most immediate lines of defense are what we call innate immunity. This is your body's general, non-specific response, always ready, always on guard, acting as the initial barrier against a myriad of potential threats. It doesn't learn, it doesn't remember specific invaders, it simply reacts to general patterns of danger. Consider your skin. For instance, it is more than just a covering, it is a vast protective shield, a formidable physical barrier against the external world. Its layers of tightly packed cells, constantly renewed, form an almost impenetrable wall. And beyond its physical presence, the skin itself produces antimicrobial substances, a quiet chemical deterrent to unwelcome guests. Then there are the mucous membranes, lining every opening to your body, your respiratory tract, your digestive tract, your urogenital tract. These are not merely moist linings, they are sticky traps, ensnaring dust, pollen, and microbes. Tiny hair-like structures called cilia, particularly in your airways, act like microscopic brooms, sweeping these trapped particles upwards, away from your delicate lungs to be expelled or swallowed. It is a continuous, gentle cleansing, a silent, rhythmic dance of protection. Even the very fluids of your body contribute to this innate defense. Your tears and saliva, for example, contain enzymes that can break down bacterial cell walls. The powerful acids in your stomach create an environment so hostile that most ingested pathogens cannot survive. This constant, unseen vigilance is a profound marvel, a testament to the body's innate capacity for self-preservation. But what happens when these physical and chemical barriers are breached? Perhaps a small cut on your skin, or an inhaled pathogen that manages to evade the cilia. This is where the cellular components of innate immunity spring into action. Within your bloodstream and tissues there are specialized cells like diligent internal custodians, always on patrol. Among these are the phagocytes, a term that literally means, quote, imagine them as tireless internal scavengers, constantly engulfing and digesting cellular debris, foreign particles, and invading microbes. The neutrophils, for example, are often the first responders to an infection or injury. They are abundant and rapidly deploy to sites of inflammation, consuming pathogens with voracious efficiency. They are like the first wave of rapid response units, arriving quickly to contain a breach. Then there are the macrophages, larger, more long-lived phagocytes. They are the grand architects of the cleanup crew, consuming not only invaders but also dead cells and tissue debris, helping to clear the path for healing. Macrophages also play a crucial role as, quote, 6, a concept we will explore further when we discuss adaptive immunity. For now, envision them as the wise, patient elders of the innate defense, capable of both direct action and subtle communication. And we must not forget the natural killer, NK cells. These are truly remarkable. Unlike other immune cells that target specific invaders, NK cells are designed to recognize and destroy cells that have become abnormal, cells infected with viruses, or even early cancer cells. They are the silent assassins, capable of identifying subtle changes in a cell's surface markers that signal internal distress or transformation, and then inducing that cell to self-destruct, preventing the spread of infection or malignancy. When these cellular defenders are called into action, particularly at a site of injury or infection, a complex and essential process called cosentui, inflammation, often ensues. You know its signs: redness, heat, swelling, and pain. These are not merely symptoms of distress. They are the active manifestations of your body's brilliant coordinated response. The redness and heat arise from increased blood flow to the area, bringing more immune cells and healing factors. The swelling is caused by fluid leaking from blood vessels into the tissue, carrying immune cells and diluting toxins. The pain is a vital signal, a gentle but firm command to rest the affected area, allowing the healing process to unfold undisturbed. Inflammation is, in essence, a localized call to arms, a meticulous orchestration designed to contain the threat, clean up the damage, and initiate repair. It is a profound act of self-care unfolding within you, even as you simply breathe. Now, as we deepen our understanding, we move from the general, always-on vigilance of innate immunity to the exquisite precision and profound memory of adaptive immunity. This is where the immune system truly begins to learn, to adapt, to remember specific threats, and to mount highly targeted responses. This is the ultimate expression of the body's intelligence, its capacity to evolve its defenses in real time. The key players in adaptive immunity are a type of white blood cell called lymphocytes. These are the highly specialized intelligent warriors of your defense network, primarily consisting of B cells and T cells. Unlike the generalists of innate immunity, lymphocytes possess an astonishing ability to recognize incredibly specific molecular patterns. Imagine a vast library within your body containing billions of unique molecular keys. Each key is designed to fit only one specific lock, a molecular signature or antigen found on the surface of an invading pathogen or an abnormal cell. This is the essence of specificity. Let us first consider the B cells, which are responsible for humoral immunity. When a B cell encounters its specific antigen, that unique molecular lock, it becomes activated. With the help of other immune cells, it begins to multiply rapidly, transforming into an army of plasma cells. These plasma cells are in essence antibody factories, mass-producing Y-shaped protein molecules called antibodies. Think of antibodies as exquisitely tailored molecular flags or handcuffs. They don't directly destroy pathogens. Rather, they mark them for destruction. They can neutralize viruses by preventing them from entering cells, agglutinate bacteria by clumping them together for easier phagocytic consumption, or coat pathogens, making them more visible and appetizing targets for phagocytes. Each antibody is designed to bind to one, and only one, specific antigen, a testament to molecular precision. But the B cells also give rise to memory B cells. These are the historians of the immune system. They don't produce antibodies immediately, but they persist in your body for years, sometimes even for a lifetime. If that same specific pathogen ever dares to invade again, these memory cells are swiftly activated, launching a much faster, stronger, and more sustained immune response. This is the profound gift of immunological memory, the very principle upon which vaccination is built. It is your body learning from experience, growing wiser with each encounter. Next, we turn our attention to the T cells, which orchestrate cell-mediated immunity. T cells, unlike B cells, do not recognize free-floating antigens or directly produce antibodies. Instead, they recognize antigens that are presented to them on the surface of other cells, much like a secret handshake or a specific identification badge. There are several types of T cells, each with a crucial role. Helper T cells are the conductors of the immune orchestra, the wise generals. They don't directly kill pathogens, but they are absolutely essential for coordinating the immune response. When activated, They release chemical messengers called cytokines, which stimulate B cells to produce antibodies, activate cytotoxic T cells, and enhance the activity of macrophages. They are the communicators, ensuring that all parts of the defense network are working in harmony. Cytotoxic T cells, often called killer T cells, are the direct action heroes. Their mission is to identify and destroy cells that are infected with viruses or have become cancerous. They recognize the specific antigens presented on the surface of these abnormal cells and then induce them to undergo programmed cell death, or apoptosis, effectively eliminating the threat without damaging healthy surrounding tissue. They are precise, surgical, and utterly dedicated to preserving the integrity of your cells. And just like B cells, T cells also generate memory T cells. These vigilant veterans also persist for long periods, ready to spring into action if they ever encounter the same specific threat again, ensuring a rapid and robust secondary response. The beauty of adaptive immunity lies not only in its specificity and memory, but also in its incredible diversity. Your body possesses the genetic potential to create billions of different B and T cell receptors, each capable of recognizing a unique antigen. This vast repertoire ensures that you are prepared for an almost infinite array of potential invaders, a truly astonishing feat of biological engineering. We see then a seamless collaborative effort. Innate immunity provides the immediate general defense, buying time for the slower, more specific, and highly effective adaptive immunity to ramp up. The phagocytes of the innate system often act as antigen-presenting cells, showing fragments of invaders to T cells, thus bridging the two systems and initiating the adaptive response. It is a constant dialogue, a ceaseless collaboration, a symphony of countless intricate processes working together to maintain your life. This magnificent system, however, is not without its vulnerabilities. Sometimes, in a tragic misstep, the immune system can lose its ability to distinguish between self and non-self, turning its formidable weapons against the body's own healthy tissues. These are the autoimmune diseases, where the very guardians of your being become a source of internal conflict, a profound disruption of that delicate balance we cherish. Or at other times, the immune system might overreact to harmless substances, like pollen or certain foods, leading to allergies, a response disproportionate to the perceived threat. But even in these instances, there is a profound lesson to be learned, a deeper understanding to be gained. They highlight the incredible complexity, the delicate calibration required for such a powerful system to function harmoniously. They remind us that medicine, at its heart, is often about understanding these intricate patterns, these moments of imbalance, and gently guiding the body back towards its innate state of health. Take a moment now to simply reflect on this. Within you, at this very instant, this silent army is at work. Billions of cells are patrolling, identifying, communicating, remembering, defending. It is a ceaseless, unthanked vigil unfolding beneath the surface of your awareness. It is a profound expression of life's resilience, its unwavering commitment to endure. What are you, truly? You're not merely a collection of organs. You're a living, breathing testament to an intelligence that has evolved over eons, capable of defending itself against an unseen world of threats. You are a fortress, a library, an army, all exquisitely integrated into a single miraculous being. And as we conclude our quiet observation of the immune system, we are left with an even deeper sense of wonder, a profound reverence for the astonishing reality of simply being. Next, we will step back, broaden our view, and begin to consider how these individual systems integrate into the grand, holistic understanding of health and disease, observing the beautiful, intricate dance of the body as a whole. But for now, let this quiet understanding of your internal guardian settle within you, a gentle comfort in the knowledge of your own magnificent resilience. We have journeyed together, haven't we, dear wanderers, through the quiet halls of the atom, where existence begins its silent hum. We've navigated the bustling, intricate cities of the cell, each a miniature universe of purpose. We've admired the thoughtful weaving of tissues, forming the very fabric of our being, and stood in quiet awe before the profound wisdom of homeostasis, that ceaseless dance of balance. We've watched the swift electric currents of the nervous system carrying thought and sensation, and felt the gentle, pervasive tides of the endocrine orchestrating the rhythms of life. And most recently, we marvelled at the vigilant, astonishing dance of the immune system, your body's tireless guardian. Each chapter a window into a magnificent, distinct chamber of being. We have, with gentle patience, explored the individual instruments in this grand orchestra, tracing their unique forms and functions. But now, as the quiet hours deepen and the world outside softens into twilight, we pause, we take a quiet breath, and we lift our gaze from the exquisite individual threads to behold the entire breathtaking tapestry. For the profound truth, the irreducible reality we now approach, is this. These systems, these magnificent architectures we have so carefully observed, do not exist in isolation. They are not separate kingdoms, each tending to its own affairs, oblivious to the others. No, they are a ceaseless, shimmering conversation, a grand, interwoven symphony where every note played by one instrument resonates, subtly or profoundly, through all the others. Your body is not a collection of parts. It is a living, breathing testament to the power of integration, a seamless, interconnected miracle. Consider for a moment the delicate interplay between your innermost thoughts, your deepest feelings, and your very physical defences. We've spoken of the nervous system, that swift messenger, translating the world into perception and response. We've traced the pathways of the endocrine system, the slow, pervasive influence, painting your internal landscape with chemical hues, and then the immune system, your body's vigilant, discerning guardian, ever watchful for intruders. What happens when you encounter a moment of intense stress, a challenge that tightens your muscles, quickens your breath, and sets your mind racing? Your nervous system, in its ancient wisdom, immediately sends signals, a cascade of electrical impulses. It alerts the endocrine system, prompting the release of potent chemical messengers, hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones in turn do not merely regulate your metabolism or prepare you for flight. They profoundly influence your immune cells. Cortisol, for example, can, for a time, dampen certain immune responses, diverting energy to immediate survival priorities. This is not a malfunction. It is a finely tuned ancient strategy, a beautiful dance of priorities orchestrated for the short term, a testament to the body's innate capacity for adaptation. But the conversation flows both ways, doesn't it? The very cells of your immune system, those diligent defenders, possess receptors for neurotransmitters and hormones. They listen to the body's overall state, adjusting their vigilance, their readiness, their inflammatory responses based on the signals they receive from the brain and the endocrine glands. An infection, a battle fought by your immune system, sends its own signals back to the brain, influencing your mood, your energy, even your desire for rest and sleep, urging you to conserve energy for healing. This is the profound, intricate field of neuroimmunoendocrinology, a testament to the seamless, indivisible nature of your being. Your mind is not separate from your body. Your spirit is not separate from your cells. They are all expressions of the same magnificent interconnected architecture, a single flowing river of life. Let us consider another intricate ballet, one that unfolds with every quiet moment of your existence. The air you breathe, a gentle current filling your lungs, is processed by your respiratory system, drawing forth life-giving oxygen. This oxygen, a vital spark, is then immediately embraced by your circulatory system, carried by the bloodstream, a silent, ceaseless river, to every single cell in your body, from the tip of your toes to the quiet thoughts that form in your mind. Simultaneously, this same circulatory river gathers the metabolic waste, the carbon dioxide, a gentle exhalation returning it to the respiratory system to be released back into the vastness of the air around you. And where does the fuel for this ceaseless activity come from? From the digestive system, doesn't it? That quiet, persistent alchemist, transforming the world outside into the very substance of your being. It breaks down food into the exquisite molecules, the sugars, the fats, the proteins, which are then absorbed into that same circulatory river, carried to every cell as nourishment, as building blocks, as energy. Each breath, each beat of your heart, each meal is a testament to this profound collaborative effort. Not one system could function, truly thrive, without the ceaseless, generous support of the others. Your bones, providing structure, skeletal system, are nourished by blood, circulatory, and moved by muscles to muscular system, all coordinated by the nervous system. Your kidneys, urinary system, filtering waste, rely on blood flow and hormone signals, endocrine, for their precise regulation. Every part whispers to every other part, a constant exchange, a shared purpose. So, what then is health in this grand, integrated view? It is not merely the absence of a named disease, a single missing piece from a complex puzzle. It is the harmonious, fluid, and resilient interplay of all these systems dancing together in a ceaseless ballet of adaptation and balance. It is when the nervous system can appropriately respond to stress, then gently return to calm, allowing for periods of rest and repair. It is when the endocrine system releases its hormones in perfect measured rhythm, like a conductor guiding the orchestra. It is when the immune system stands vigilant, yet recognizes and protects its own, discerning friend from foe with exquisite precision. It is when the digestive fire burns brightly, nourishing every cell, and the circulatory river flows freely, carrying life and removing waste with quiet efficiency. Health, then, is a symphony played in perfect key, a vast and intricate clockwork where every gear turns in synchronicity with all the others. It is a state of grace, a dynamic equilibrium, constantly adjusting, constantly renewing itself in response to the ceaseless currents of life, both internal and external. It is the quiet hum of optimal function, the deep wellspring of vitality that allows you to engage with the world, to think, to feel, to create, to simply be in your fullest expression. It is a state of profound coherence, where the body's inner wisdom expresses itself through effortless function. And what of illness? If health is this magnificent symphony, then illness is often a discord, a note out of tune, a rhythm disrupted. It is rarely truly confined to a single instrument. A problem in one system inevitably sends ripples, vibrations through the entire network. Consider a chronic inflammatory condition, for instance. It may manifest in a specific organ, perhaps the gut or the joints, causing localized pain and dysfunction. But the inflammation itself is a signal, an alarm bell ringing through the immune system. This persistent alarm, this ceaseless vigilance can then begin to influence the nervous system, leading to fatigue, altered mood, perhaps even a heightened perception of pain. It can impact the endocrine system, altering stress hormone levels, creating a cascade of further imbalances that affect sleep, energy, and metabolism. The initial localized issue becomes a systemic challenge, a challenge to the entire integrated being. We see this in conditions like metabolic syndrome, where disruptions in glucose regulation, involving the endocrine and digestive systems, can lead to cardiovascular issues, circulatory, and even influence chronic inflammatory markers, immune. Or consider chronic stress, a relentless pressure on the nervous system. Over time, it can deplete the endocrine system's reserves, leading to adrenal fatigue, and profoundly suppress or dysregulate the immune system, making the body more vulnerable to infection or chronic inflammation, or even autoimmune conditions. The lines blur, don't they? The boundaries we drew for the sake of understanding begin to dissolve, revealing a profound and undeniable interconnectedness. Illness is not just a breakdown of a part. It is often a cry from the whole, a signal that the delicate balance, the exquisite harmony, has been disturbed, calling for a gentle recalibration of the entire system. Yet, even in the face of such disruption, there is an astonishing resilience, a profound inherent wisdom embedded within this architecture of being. Your body, this magnificent arrangement of stardust and starlight, is constantly striving for balance, constantly working to repair, to adapt, to return to its harmonious state. It possesses an innate intelligence, a deep ancient knowing that guides its ceaseless efforts. This is the quiet miracle we often take for granted, the body's relentless pursuit of health, its capacity for self-healing, its gentle, persistent whisper of life. Even when we're unaware, even when we're asleep, these systems are collaborating, communicating, adjusting, striving to maintain that delicate equilibrium, that optimal flow. This is why a cut heals, why a fever runs its course, why a broken bone mends, why your body so often finds its way back to balance after an illness. It is the collective intelligence of billions of cells, working in concert, guided by the profound blueprint of life itself, a testament to the universe's ceaseless drive towards order and vitality. This integrated understanding, this holistic perspective, changes everything about how we approach medicine, doesn't it? It invites us to look beyond the immediate symptom, beyond the isolated diagnosis, and to ask deeper questions. What is the story unfolding here? How are these systems communicating or failing to communicate? What are the underlying currents, the subtle imbalances that have led to this discord? It gently encourages us to see the human being not as a collection of separate problems, but as a dynamic, interconnected whole. It moves us away from simply treating a part in isolation and encourages us to consider the whole person, the entire intricate ecosystem of their being. It acknowledges that the mind, the emotions, the environment, the lifestyle choices all play a vital, undeniable role in shaping the symphony of health and disease. It is a more compassionate, a more comprehensive, and ultimately a more profound way of understanding the human condition. It is not just about fixing what is broken, but about nurturing the inherent capacity for healing, for balance, for flourishing within the entire integrated being. It is about listening to the body's quiet wisdom and working with its natural inclination towards harmony. So, we have come full circle, haven't we, dear wanderers? From the silent dance of electrons within an atom to the magnificent integrated symphony of your entire being. We have seen that you are not a collection of separate parts, but a seamless, interconnected miracle. A living, breathing testament to the profound intelligence of the universe, an astonishing architecture built on collaboration. In the quiet hours ahead, as we continue our thoughtful journey, we'll begin to explore how this integrated understanding informs our practical approach to health, to wellness, and to the gentle art of healing. We will delve into how external factors, from the food we eat to the air we breathe, and even the thoughts we think, interact with this exquisite internal landscape, influencing its delicate balance. But for now, let us simply sit with this profound realization. You are whole. You are wonderfully, intricately, gloriously whole. Let this understanding settle gently within you, like a quiet dawn. Let it inspire a deeper reverence for the astonishing reality of your own existence. This is the foundation upon which all true understanding of medicine, and indeed of life itself, must be built. A quiet, gentle knowing that you are a universe unto yourself, ceaselessly unfolding, ceaselessly striving for harmony. We've journeyed, haven't we, through the profound wonders nestled within the architecture of your being, from the quiet dance of atoms to the integrated symphony of your systems. We've observed the breathtaking elegance of life's internal tapestry. We've understood that health is not merely the absence of discord, but the vibrant, resilient harmony of countless processes, constantly conversing, constantly adapting. We've seen how your body possesses an inherent wisdom, a ceaseless striving for balance, a quiet, persistent effort to maintain its delicate equilibrium. But now, as the gentle current of our lecture carries us forward, let us turn our thoughtful gaze outward. For you are not an isolated universe sealed away from the vast shimmering world around you. No, you are a permeable marvel, a living frontier where the internal continually meets the external, where the echoes of your environment resonate deep within your cells, shaping every beat, every breath, every thought. Your magnificent internal symphony is not played in a vacuum. It is constantly influenced, subtly and profoundly, by the larger orchestra of the world. Consider for a quiet moment the simple, yet profoundly complex act of eating. It is not merely the consumption of fuel, though fuel it certainly is, providing the raw energy that powers every cellular engine within you. It is, more intimately, an act of communication, a potent exchange of information. Each morsel you take in carries a complex language, a set of instructions whispered directly to your cells, your tissues, your very DNA. The carbohydrates, fats, and proteins are not just macronutrients. They are the architectural blueprints, the energetic currents, the very letters and words that your body uses to build, to repair, to grow, and to sing its song. These are not inert substances. They are vibrant messengers, each with a specific role in your body's intricate narrative. The glucose from a piece of fruit, a seemingly simple sugar, becomes the essential spark in your cellular furnaces, a tiny solar battery powering the ceaseless work of your mitochondria. It fuels the quiet hum of your brain, the rhythmic contractions of your heart, the continuous repair of your tissues. The amino acids derived from a protein-rich meal are the precise building blocks, the individual bricks and mortar that reconstruct weary muscle, create new enzymes to catalyze life's chemical reactions, and forge the antibodies that stand sentinel in your immune system, ever ready to defend. And the fats, often misunderstood, are not merely stores of energy. They are crucial components of every cell membrane, providing the very fluidity of your cellular boundaries and serving as the raw material for vital hormones, the quiet whispers of your endocrine system that regulate nearly every bodily process. Beyond these foundational elements, the vast array of vitamins and minerals, the micronutrients, act as the subtle conductors of this internal orchestra. They are the cofactors that enable enzymes to perform their magic, the antioxidants that protect your cells from the wear and tear of daily life, the essential elements that ensure nerves fire, muscles contract, and bones remain strong. A deficiency in even one of these minute components can introduce a profound discord into your internal harmony, a subtle but pervasive imbalance that ripples through systems, eventually manifesting as illness. Thus, the quality and diversity of your diet are not just matters of preference, they are fundamental determinants of your cellular vitality and the resilience of your integrated symphony. Then, let us consider the very air you breathe, the water you drink. These elemental forces, so often taken for granted in their constant presence, are absorbed into the delicate ballet of your internal landscape with every passing moment. Each inhale draws not only life-giving oxygen, the breath of existence itself, but also, inevitably, the subtle whispers of your environment, the pollen carried on a gentle breeze, the microscopic particulate matter from a distant city, perhaps even the faint, sweet scent of rain on dry earth. These external elements become part of you, processed by your lungs, filtered by your blood, challenging or nourishing your defenses, impacting the very efficiency of your respiratory and circulatory systems. And the water, that profound solvent, that cradle of life, flows through your veins, a ceaseless river carrying nutrients to every cell, flushing waste products away and maintaining the delicate osmotic balance within your cellular cities. Its purity, its mineral content, its very structure, all contribute to the subtle alchemy within your being. You are, in essence, a reflection of these elemental currents, the quality of the world around you, woven into the fabric of your own existence. Exposure to toxins, heavy metals, or persistent pollutants, even in minute quantities, can introduce a chronic burden on your detoxification systems, creating a low-grade inflammation, a constant state of internal vigilance that drains your body's resources and predisposes it to disease. Now, let us observe the rhythms of movement and rest, the exquisite dance between exertion and stillness that profoundly shapes your physical and mental well-being. Your body, this magnificent instrument, was designed for motion, for engagement with the world. To move is to encourage the flow of life itself, to stimulate your circulatory system, sending oxygen and nutrients to every corner of your being, to awaken your lymphatic system, gently sweeping away cellular debris and supporting immune function. Movement is a language your muscles speak to your bones, strengthening their structure and density, and a vibrant conversation your nervous system has with itself, enhancing its agility, resilience, and capacity for focused thought. It is a catalyst for joy, a release for tension, a powerful affirmation of your physical presence in the world, influencing everything from your mood to your hormonal balance. And then there is the profound necessity of rest, particularly the deep restorative currents of sleep. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world outside softens its demands, your body engages in its most vital work of repair and recalibration. This is not merely an absence of activity, it is an active, essential state of healing and renewal. This is when your brain consolidates memories, prunes unnecessary connections, and cleanses itself of metabolic byproducts. This is when your immune system strengthens its defenses, when your hormonal systems rebalance, and when cellular repair processes accelerate throughout your entire body. To neglect this sacred rhythm, to consistently shortchange your body of this deep restoration, is to introduce a subtle, persistent discord into your magnificent internal orchestra, compromising its ability to maintain homeostasis and withstand the inevitable stresses of life. But the external world impacts you in ways far more subtle and pervasive than mere physical intake or activity. It resonates through your mind, through your emotions, profoundly shaping your internal landscape. Consider the relentless pressure of modern life, the ceaseless hum of expectations, the anxieties that can gather like storm clouds on the horizon of your consciousness. These external stresses, whether they are the demands of work, the complexities of relationships, the uncertainty of the future, or the simple, constant barrage of information, do not remain external. They are perceived, interpreted, and then translated into a potent biochemical language within you. The nervous system, ever vigilant, alerts the endocrine system, releasing a cascade of hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, designed for immediate survival. This acute stress response, while vital in moments of danger, becomes a profound burden when it's chronic, when the alarm bells ring incessantly without genuine threat. This sustained internal state, driven by external pressures, can disrupt the delicate balance of homeostasis we discussed. It can dampen your immune system's vigilance, making you more susceptible to illness. It can alter metabolic processes, affecting how your body uses and stores energy. It can even influence the very architecture of your brain, impacting mood, memory, and sleep, creating a cycle of fatigue and reduced resilience. The external pressures of your world are not just abstract concepts, they are tangible forces shaping the very cellular reality of your being, creating a silent, persistent discord that medicine often seeks to understand and alleviate. And beyond these, there are the profound, often overlooked external factors that nourish the human spirit and, in doing so, nourish the body. The warmth of human connection, the sense of purpose derived from meaningful work or contribution, the quiet contemplation of beauty in nature, the solace found in community. These are not mere luxuries. They are fundamental nutrients for your mental and emotional well-being, which, as we are beginning to truly understand, are inextricably linked to your physical health. A heart filled with gratitude or a mind engaged in meaningful pursuit sends different biochemical signals through your system than one steeped in isolation or despair. The external landscape of your relationships, your spiritual life, your sense of belonging, and your engagement with the world echoes profoundly within your physiological self, influencing gene expression, inflammation, and even the rate of cellular aging. So you see, the grand tapestry of health is not woven solely from the threads of internal cellular harmony. It is also deeply, intimately coloured by the threads spun from your environment, your choices, and your experiences. To practice medicine, then, is not merely to mend a broken bone or to calm a rebellious cell. It is to understand this intricate, ceaseless dance between the internal and the external, to recognize the subtle whispers and the resounding echoes that shape your health. It is to look beyond the immediate symptom and ask, what is the world telling this body? What messages is it receiving? What profound influences are at play in this unique individual's life? We are not passive recipients of our circumstances. You, dear wanderer, are an active participant in this ceaseless conversation. Every decision you make, what you eat, how you move, how you rest, how you engage with your world, how you cultivate peace within a storm, sends ripples through your entire being. You are the conductor of this magnificent symphony, and the external world provides many of the notes, the rhythms, and the harmonies. Understanding these influences is not just knowledge, it is empowerment. It is the profound wisdom to truly nurture the intricate, astonishing reality of who you are, to tend to the whole self, recognizing that the health of the individual is a continuous, beautiful dialogue with the world around them. We've journeyed, dear wanderers, through the intricate architecture of your being, from the silent dance of atoms to the grand symphony of organ systems. We've seen how the internal landscape of your body is in ceaseless, vital dialogue with the external world. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the food that nourishes you, the movement that shapes you, the quiet hours of rest, and the profound currents of your thoughts and emotions. This dialogue, this continuous exchange, is not a static conversation. Oh no! It is a vibrant, living force, constantly shaping and reshaping the very essence of who you are. Today, we will turn our gentle gaze towards one of the most astonishing aspects of this dialogue, the body's profound capacity for adaptation and resilience. It is a testament to life's ingenuity, a quiet declaration that you are not merely a collection of parts, but a dynamic, evolving masterpiece, always learning, always adjusting, always striving for balance amidst the tides of change. Imagine, if you will, a river. It flows, it carves its path, it responds to the rainfall and the drought, the rocks and the soil. It is never precisely the same river from one moment to the next, yet it retains its identity, its purpose. Your body is much like this river. It is not a fixed structure, but a fluid, responsive entity, constantly remodeling itself, strengthening itself, and finding new pathways in response to the demands placed upon it. This is the essence of adaptation, the ability to change over time in response to stimuli, to become better suited to its environment, to carry its burdens with greater ease. Let us observe this quiet marvel in a few familiar places. Consider your muscles, for instance. When you lift something heavy, when you walk an extra mile, when you challenge them with deliberate measured effort, what happens? They do not simply endure, they transform. Tiny micro tears, subtle signals of stress, are sent. In response, your body doesn't just repair, it over-repairs. It lays down new protein fibers, making the muscle slightly thicker, slightly stronger, slightly more capable than it was before. This is not a passive process. It is an active, intelligent response, a declaration from your cells. Quote 10, quote. This principle, often called the quote 11 or said, is a whisper of your body's wisdom. It is always listening, always responding to the stories you tell it through your actions. Think too of your bones. Far from being inert, static structures, they are living tissues constantly being broken down and rebuilt in a ceaseless dance. When you stand, when you walk, when you jump, when you bear weight, your bones experience stress. And just like muscles, they respond. Cells called osteoblasts lay down new bone tissue, while osteoclasts resorb old bone, ensuring that the bone structure is optimized for the forces acting upon it. This is Wolff's law in action, a quiet symphony of calcium and collagen, ensuring your skeletal framework remains robust and resilient. A sedentary life, conversely, tells your bones a different story, and they will adapt to that, becoming less dense, less prepared for sudden demands. Your body is always listening, always adapting. And what of your vigilant guardians, the immune system, which we spoke of in our last gathering? Its adaptive capacity is perhaps one of the most profound examples of this principle. When a new pathogen enters your system, your adaptive immune cells, your B and T lymphocytes, embark on a learning journey. They identify the invader, craft precise weapons against it, and then, crucially, they remember. They create memory cells, quiet sentinels that stand ready for years, sometimes for a lifetime, to recognize that specific threat should it ever return. This is the very foundation of immunity, a biological archive of past battles, ensuring a swifter, more effective defense in the future. It is a system built on learning, on adapting, on becoming more resilient with every challenge it overcomes. These are but a few glimpses into the body's magnificent capacity for adaptation. But this dance with change is not always a gentle, strengthening one. Sometimes the external world presents challenges that push your internal landscape beyond its comfortable rhythms, demands that require a more immediate, more profound response. This brings us back to a concept we touched upon briefly: stress. We often speak of stress with a sense of dread, as if it were always an enemy. Yet, in its acute form, stress is a vital, ancient mechanism for survival. Imagine our ancestors facing a sudden threat, a predator, a falling rock. There is no time for quiet contemplation. The body must act, and act swiftly. This is the domain of the acute stress response, often called fight or flight. In an instant, your sympathetic nervous system springs into action. Adrenaline surges through your veins, your heart rate quickens, your breathing deepens, blood is diverted to your muscles, your senses sharpen. Cortisol, another powerful hormone, is released, providing a burst of energy by mobilizing glucose. This is a brilliant, exquisitely tuned system, designed to save your life, to enable you to run faster, fight harder, react quicker. It is a symphony of survival, played at a frantic tempo. But what happens, dear wanderer, when the perceived threat never truly dissipates? What happens when the predator is not a tiger, but a relentless deadline, a strained relationship, a constant barrage of information, or the quiet anxieties of modern life? This is where the adaptive, life-saving mechanism of acute stress can begin to fray, transforming into the insidious dance of chronic stress. When the stress response is repeatedly activated, or remains activated for prolonged periods, the very hormones designed to protect you begin to take a toll. The hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis, your central stress response system, remains in overdrive. Cortisol, while essential in short bursts, becomes detrimental when chronically elevated. It can begin to suppress your immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. It can disrupt your sleep patterns, leaving you perpetually tired. It can interfere with your digestive system, leading to inflammation and discomfort. It can even affect your brain, impacting memory, focus, and emotional regulation, contributing to feelings of anxiety and depression. This is not a failure of the body, but rather a consequence of a system designed for acute short-term threats, being constantly engaged in a long-term battle. It is like an alarm bell that never stops ringing, eventually deafening the very ears it was meant to alert. This leads us to a crucial concept in understanding modern health and illness: allostasis and allostatic load, where homeostasis, as we discussed, is about maintaining stability through constancy, keeping temperature, pH, glucose within narrow ranges. Allostasis is about achieving stability through change. It is the dynamic process by which your brain and body anticipate needs and adapt to challenges, constantly adjusting physiological parameters to meet the demands of the external world. When you adjust your posture, when your heart rate increases during exercise, when your immune system gears up for an infection, these are all examples of allostasis in action. It is your body's intelligent, proactive way of maintaining balance in a constantly shifting environment. However, when the demands are too great, too frequent, or when the body's adaptive responses are inefficient or prolonged, the cost of this continuous adaptation accumulates. This accumulation is what we call allostatic load. It is the wear and tear on your body that results from chronic or repeated stress. Think of it as the persistent effort of your river to carve a new path through solid rock. Eventually the tools wear down, the banks erode, and the river itself becomes less efficient, less vibrant. Allostatic load manifests in many ways: persistent inflammation, high blood pressure, insulin resistance, altered immune function, chronic fatigue, and even changes in brain structure and function. It is not a single disease, but a state of physiological dysregulation that increases your vulnerability to a wide range of chronic conditions. It is the silent, cumulative impact of a life lived under too much pressure, without sufficient periods of rest and recovery. And so, we arrive at the profound concept of resilience. Resilience is more than just bouncing back from adversity. It is the capacity to adapt effectively to change, to recover from setbacks, and even to grow stronger in the face of challenges. A resilient body is one that can engage its allostatic mechanisms when needed, but also efficiently return to a state of calm and repair when the threat has passed. It is a symphony that can handle discordant notes, explore new melodies, and then return to a richer, more complex harmony. How does one cultivate this resilience? It lies in understanding and honouring the body's fundamental needs, the very elements we discussed in our last chapter. Nourishment, providing your cells with the precise building blocks and energy they need. Movement, challenging your body in ways that promote strength and flexibility and allow for adaptation. Rest, crucially allowing periods of deep rest and repair, especially through quality sleep, when the body can consolidate learning, clean up cellular debris, and restore its energetic reserves. Mindfulness and connection, managing the currents of your thoughts and emotions, finding moments of peace, and fostering meaningful connections that provide support and purpose. These are not merely external factors. They profoundly influence your internal physiological landscape, impacting your HPA axis, your immune system, and your overall capacity for allostasis. You are not a passive recipient of your environment, dear wanderer. You're an active participant in this continuous dynamic dance of adaptation. Your body is always listening, always responding to the stories you tell it through your choices, your habits, and your internal landscape. It is a magnificent testament to life's persistent drive to survive, to thrive, to evolve. Next, we will step into the realm of how this profound understanding of adaptation and resilience informs our approach to medicine itself. We will begin to explore how disruptions in these delicate balances manifest as illness, and how the art and science of healing often involve guiding the body back to its inherent capacity for self-regulation and repair. We will observe with quiet wonder the pathways to restoring harmony when the symphony of being falls out of tune. For now, let us simply sit with the astonishing reality of your body's ceaseless, intelligent dance with change.